One really exciting new feature that we have available in this update is the Create Outline feature. What this feature does is allows you to select embroidery objects in your design and create a border that goes around the outside. And it gives you the ability to add multiple borders around the outside. The first thing that you have to do is select the items that you want to create an outline around. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to create an outline around the outside of this design. So in order to do that, you can see I have a bunch of different pieces or embroidery objects in here. What I first need to do is select all of them. I can do this by using my select tool and clicking and dragging a box over the top of the entire design. Or an easy way as well is to go to Edit on the menu bar and select the Select All button. And that makes sure that everything in the design is selected. The next thing that we need to do is right mouse click and choose the Create Outline option. So right mouse click and select Create Outline. What you'll see is a box that pops up, and this is where you're able to customize the outlines. You can see right here we have the distance. So right here now by default it's 2 millimeters distance from the selected objects, and you can choose how many times it will repeat. The outline will repeat. Let's go ahead and change this distance to 5 millimeters. And let's go ahead and tell it that we want it to repeat the outline 5 times. And because we do want it to go around the outside of the object, we do not want to select this inside button, or else it would start from the inside and work its way from the border and work its way in to create the outline. So we don't want to do that. And we do not want to remove this embroidery design once the outline's created. If we did, we would check that box. But right now, all we want is to change the distance to 5 and repeats to 5. And go ahead and select OK. And you can see in here now we have outlines that border the object, and you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each one is 5 millimeters apart, just like we set in the settings. So now the other thing to notice is that when it imports these outlines, they are in artwork. So these are not stitches, they are artwork pieces, but it's really easy to convert these into stitches. All you need to do is to make sure that they are selected. And the easiest way to do that is to come over here and click on that color sequence excuse me, and the artwork tab. And once we have that, we can right mouse click, convert to a run stitch. So that quickly we can convert these into run stitches, and once we have them into run stitches, there are many different things that we can do. One thing to notice is that these are all one object right now, and if we want to do something different with each line, we need to break it apart. So let's go ahead and right mouse click, you make sure it's selected, right mouse click and choose break apart, and this will separate each line so they'll all be their own individual object. And look over here on this sequence view, you'll notice that it only shows one run stitch. I'm going to hit break apart, and now what you'll see is there's going to be 5 different run stitch outlines. Now I can select each one separately and work with each one individually. So this is a really nice feature, and now what I would do is look at ways that I can make this even more creative as a border. So I'm going to go ahead and change a few settings in here. Let's take this first running stitch outline, and let's go ahead and go to our properties box and select a bean stitch. And a bean stitch is just a more bold run stitch. It's a technique where the stitches will go forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward. It just makes a little three-peat run stitch, and it makes a really nice bold run stitch. So let's go ahead and do that and hit apply. Now let's take our second outline here and let's apply a motif pattern to it. So I'm going to come over here to my properties box with this one selected. I'm going to come in and I'm going to choose for the type. I'm going to select a motif pattern. And let's go ahead and find a motif pattern to apply here. Let's go down to, you can see I have a bunch of different ones in here. Let's go to the oval and hit apply. And you'll notice that it's really small right here. We're going to change the stitch length size to 8 and hit apply, and you'll notice that it comes in nice and big. So that's just changing the stitch length. Now let's apply a different motif pattern to the third outline. Let's go ahead and select it, and let's go in the type box in the properties box. Let's go to motif pattern, and for this one let's select a really kind of small line. We'll do this angle and hit apply, and we'll come in here to these settings and we'll also change this to a 5 millimeter and hit apply. So you can see we have this nice little kind of running stitch that will look like a really narrow satin stitch. And let's go to the next outline and let's do the same thing. Let's apply a motif type to it, and let's come in and choose another motif pattern. Now for this one, let's go ahead and choose this chain and hit apply. And let's go ahead and change the stitch length to make this a little bit bigger. We will change it to a 5 as well and hit apply. Click off of that so you can see how that's starting to look. And for this outline, this last outline, let's apply a different motif pattern to it. And for this one, let's choose a dot pattern. So let's come in here to this, go to say this dot pattern, hit apply, and just to make it a little bit bigger, let's come in and apply a 5 to it and hit apply. And you can see that we have a nice motif, a bunch of motif patterns that border this object. And let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit on this so that you can see it a little bit better. Let me grab my zoom tool and let me come in here and just zoom into this area. So now you can see the different stitch patterns that we have applied to the border stitch. So you can see there's a lot of things that you can do with this create outline feature, and I want to show you a couple more things that you can do with it. So let me go ahead and zoom out. I'm going to go to fit. I'm going to come in here and I want to delete these outlines that I just created. I'm going to come back in and select all these objects, right mouse click, and go to create outline. For this one, we're going to do a couple different settings. We're going to come in here and change this distance to 3 millimeters, and let's have it repeat 3 times. And what we want to do for this one is we want to utilize this remove selection feature, and what this will do is it will create an outline around the object, and then it will take this object out of the design so that you can replace objects with outlines. And so let's go ahead and click remove selection and select OK. Let's let that process for a second. As you can see, once it generated those outline stitches, the inside design was removed. And so this is how that remove stitches feature works. So let's go to undo here so you can see this again. We'll select it all, right mouse click, hit create outline, and you would just select this remove selection feature and it will delete this image and replace it with the outlines. This is a feature that some of you will utilize a lot, others will maybe not utilize the remove selection, but it does provide a lot of unique opportunities for you to get creative and do some interesting things with your designs. I hope that you play around with this feature and excuse me, explore some of the different options and utilizing different repeat settings and different distances apart. Also turning some of those outlines maybe into motif patterns, and it'll be I'm excited to see what everyone is able to come up with. So enjoy this new feature. It's a great new feature. It's a lot of fun, and it provides a lot of customizing that wasn't available before. So enjoy, and have fun with it.